Hey guys, real quick before we get started on the video, please check out the podcast that I am currently co-hosting with SpeatySpookz called The Blueberry Lounge. We also have a Discord and a clan that is seeking new members. Come join us. Yo, what up, Native Raider here. I got a couple ideas to kick around for you all today in this video. Some unique changes that I think would be really fun in Destiny 2. I would also love to hear your opinions and ideas, so don't hesitate to comment down below. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the game as is, but there's always room for growth. So, without further ado, let's get it.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Alright, so for the first unique, fun idea that I think Destiny 2 should implement, hopefully, is shader customization. I'd like for us to have the ability to completely customize our own shader. This would include all the different colors of the shader as well as the texture. And they could even make this like a season-to-season thing. Maybe you unlock one, I don't know, we'll call it a canvas, I guess, per season by completing, like, say, all the triumphs in the season. And, once you got that unlocked, you sit there and you slot the colors, the texture, and, you create it, you develop it, and I would say that it's locked in. It's not something you can change constantly, so maybe you get one canvas per season or something like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. They could even throw in like the colors and textures as being unlockable as you progress through the season, or whatever other part of the game. But shader customization, I think this would be super cool. Next up, we're gonna talk armor sets. I would like to see armor sets get perks and buffs in Destiny. Right now, the only time that we really see a reason to run a full set of, certain armor is to grind out seasonal currency or, grinding out that Iron Banner rep. If you've ever played The Division, this concept may make a little more sense to you. The enhancements don't need to be game breaking, but I think it should be relevant enough to be viable in certain situations. I see armor sets getting a bonus starting at 2 pieces and then greatly increasing with the more pieces you have equipped. The tricky part of this, though, is if you do want to have that full set to max out the perks that you get from a specific armor set, you would be sacrificing using an exotic armor piece. This could be very, very interesting. And next up, we have mini games. There's like so many games that I've played that have little mini games built within the main game itself. You can take Gwent in Witcher 3 or Orlog in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think Destiny has the perfect framework and lore to do its own mini game or games. And I know the tower, they already have that like kind of floors lava thing that leads you to spawning different balls and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about something a little bit more enticing. You know what I mean? The question is, what would they do? What kind of minigame would they do? I know the dev teams at Bungie create phenomenal content, so I have without a doubt in my mind that they could come up with something awesome and amazing that would be so much fun. As a side note, I'd love to see a little leaderboard in there as well, but what minigames have you played in other games that you thought was super cool and super fun that wasn't a part of the main game, but it was just something fun to, take a break from the grind a little bit? Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, we're gonna talk Guardian Quarters. I mean quarters, not like, nickels and dimes and quarters. I'm talking about a home. Let us have a home, Bungie. I'm thinking of an upgradable and like customizable apartment-like thing. Perhaps we can display our feats within our home with unlockable decor or posters. I mean, sky's the limit to what you can do with this concept. In my mind, you would be able to invite your buddies over, your fire team, and maybe chill out, show off, what you got going on in your place, right? Maybe throw in one of those mini games that we were talking about earlier. If you ever played GTA 5 and how they do the apartments and those kind of structures, it's similar to what I'm thinking. I mean, for all the work that we do in the universe and everybody that we've saved, should we really be homeless? And next up, we have a Ghost Armor Focus mods, what you don't want. Now, hear me out on this one because it sounds a little odd. Right now, we currently have Ghost Armor Focusing mods that you can focus in, say, Discipline, whatever, it's going to guarantee you at least a 10 in that stat roll. But I'm talking about ones that you don't want that'll guarantee you a 2 stat roll. And I know that may seem a little odd, but if you look at it, the way that the stats are divided in the top 3 and the bottom 3, if you had one that you didn't want, you can sit there and put that one on there and make sure that it's focused into the other ones. For example, as a Titan main currently, I don't care about having mobility. It's a nice thing to have, but I want as much resilience and recovery as possible. So if I put on this, this new Ghost Armor Focus mod that you don't want into mobility, then it will ensure that it is focused into recovery and resilience. I know it may sound a little weird, but think on that one and get back to me later in the comments. Next up, we have PvP map voting. Pretty simple, straightforward. Seen this in a lot of other games like Call of Duty. Gotta give props and a shout out to my co-host SpeatySpookz, as this is an idea that he has, and I love it. I think it would be awesome. And I did say co-host, if you weren't aware, me and SpeatySpookz, we have a Destiny 2 podcast together called The Blueberry Lounge. You should definitely check that out. But yeah, PvP map voting I think would be a really nice touch on the Crucible. And I'm not a programmer, but I would think this would be an easy thing to incorporate. And adding this feature could also give Bungie, a lot of great data on what maps are being chosen versus what maps are being skipped the most, and maybe they can learn from, what maps players actually like. Plus, this will allow us Guardians to have a bit more influence on what we want to play rather than what is directed to us. So I think this would be a great touch, and I also believe that this would reduce the amount of quitters in games. Let's talk our ships, because our ships, while Bungie does a great job on designing some beautiful ships, there's really not much to them besides transmat effects, and we can see them in the loading screen or sitting in orbit. I'd like some kind of ship interaction, like maybe some in-flight emotes would be really cool. Like as you're loading into the dreadnought or something like that, as you're flying in, you do a barrel roll or something like that you can equip just to make it a little bit different and unique, spice things up in the loading screen, or while you're waiting for your last member of the fire team to finish taking out his dog before the raid. I think it would be really cool to have some kind of ship interaction. Hey yo Gator, this one's for you. Solo strikes. Regular difficulty solo strikes I think would be an awesome thing that Bungie should definitely incorporate into the game, and this is great for people that want to complete bounties or weapon catalysts, or more importantly for the new player that's trying to learn the strike prior to trying it on a harder difficulty level. Right now when you get into a regular strike, usually you're doing the Vanguard playlist, right, trying to get that pinnacle, but that experienced player is speed running through it, getting to the boss as fast as possible, and constantly sucking that new player into the new zone each time. And I'm not blaming those that do that, because let's be honest, I'm one of those. I'm trying to get shit done as fast as I can, try to hurry up and be efficient with everything. But I do think it is kind of, unfair for that new guy that's trying to really learn to strike and enjoy the game. So why not Bungie? Let's add solo strikes. How about we have us a legitimate damage testing range? This right here would probably be something that I would use more than anything else in the game if it was implemented correctly. A true damage testing range would be amazing, and as a content creator that focuses a lot on developing builds for the Titan, this would be a godsend. This would be incredible. I know the Enclave has those little targets that you can shoot from different distances, but that's far from what I envision. I'm thinking something similar to Overwatch's little training range that they have, and maybe throw in an infinite use raid banner so we can constantly reload and continue to train and hone our abilities and allow us to damage test weapons, ability supers, and help hone deadly combinations and rotations. A true testing range would be legit. Alright, lastly, speaking of exotics, I got 2 exotic ideas that I think would be so much fun, but probably very difficult to implement into the game. First up, and pretty straightforward, an exotic that would allow you to change your kinetic slot into an energy slot, allowing you to run double energy weapons in the top 2 slots. I think that shit would be just so much fun. The second exotic idea is a little bit more crazy, and this exotic would allow you to mix and match one of your abilities from another subclass. I understand that this could absolutely break the game, but could you imagine the shenanigans that you could come up with if we had an exotic like this? Like, for example, running a Void Titan, right, with Bastion Overshield, and using this exotic to change your grenade slot into a solar grenade slot and having those healing grenades on top of that Overshield. I can already picture how Twitter would react to this. And well, those are the ideas I have for now. I'm sure I'll make another one in the future. If you enjoyed this, please let me know down in the comments. And if you did enjoy that video, please hammer strike that like, shoot that sub, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.